has been hit harder by foreclosures and the housing crisis than Nevada. We are now in a very dangerous situation where financial institutions across this country are afraid to lend money. If all that meant was the failure of a few big banks on Wall Street, that'd be one thing. But that's not what it means. What it means is if we don't act, it will be harder for you to get a mortgage for your home, or the loans you need to go to college, or a loan you need to buy a car to get to work. What it means is that businesses won't be able to get loans they need to open new factories, or hire more workers, or make payroll for the workers they have. What it means is that thousands of businesses could close around the country. Millions of jobs could be lost. A long and painful recession could follow. Now let me be perfectly clear. The fact that we are in this mess in the first place is an outrage. It's an outrage. It's an outrage because we didn't get here by accident. This was not a normal part of the business cycle. This was not the actions of a few bad apples. This financial crisis is a direct result of the greed and irresponsibility that has dominated Washington and Wall Street for years now. It's the result of speculators who gamed the system, regulators who looked the other way, lobbyists who bought their way into our government. It's the result of an economic philosophy that says we should give more and more to those with the most and hope that prosperity trickles down to everyone else. A philosophy that views even the most common sense regulations as unwise and unnecessary. And this economic catastrophe is the final verdict on this failed philosophy. A philosophy that we cannot afford to continue. And one of the reasons I am running for the presidency of the United States is to bring this philosophy to an end. But while there's plenty of blame to go around, and many in Washington and Wall Street deserve it, all of us now have a responsibility to solve this crisis because it affects the financial well-being of every single American. There will be time to punish those who set this fire, but now is the moment for us to come together and put the fire out. I mean, think about it. Think about it. If your neighbor's house is burning, you're not going to spend a whole lot of time saying, well, that guy was always irresponsible. He always left the stove on. He always was smoking in bed. All those things may be true, but his house could end up affecting your house. And that's the situation we're in right now. We've got to make sure that we put the fire out, and then we'll start making sure that these folks stop leaving the stove on. But right now our job is to put out the fire. And we can't forget that. Now, and I know this is especially frustrating for young people because you don't even have any money. I know, I remember what it was like, eating pizza every night. So you're thinking to yourself, what does this have to do with me? I don't have a fancy, stock market portfolio. But understand that if we don't deal with this problem now, then your prospects for finding a job, your prospects for being able to buy a home, your prospects for being able to raise a family, all that's going to be affected. So this affects you as well. This is one of those defining moments when the American people are looking to Washington for leadership. So it's not a time for politics. It's not a time for partisanship. There's going to be a lot of time left and a lot of topics and issues to debate in the last 5 weeks. But it's not a time to figure out how to take credit or where to lay blame. It's not a time for politicians to concern themselves with the next election. It's a time for all of us to concern ourselves with the future of the country that we love. This is a time.
We have been listening to Senator